Today I'm going to take a quick look at this old General Electric Help CB radio kit. This is something that I've had in, well, I don't want to call it my junk box, but I guess my spare radio collection for a while. I'm not even sure where I got this thing, and I don't even know if it works. The reason I'm pulling it out today is that a coworker who is into off-roading needs a radio, specifically a CB radio, to put in his off-road rig for an upcoming event. And he doesn't have one laying around. The event kind of came up suddenly, and knowing that I was into old radios and stuff, he asked if I had anything kicking around. Now, as far as CB radios go that are portable and easily installed, this is probably about the best bet. So I figured I'd dig it out here tonight and check it out and see if it actually works. I know that it's all here, but I've never used it. Now, I've never used this particular one, but when I was a teenager, a relative had one of these that I used at a campground, and I remember it working fine at the campground. It seemed to do everything a regular CB radio would do. Maybe not with quite as much quality, but it worked. So hopefully this one will too. You also get the antenna radiator here, which screws on to the antenna base, which I believe is what this is. And this is, a magnetic base. And of course the surface of my desk is metal, but I've got this anti-stat mat. But it even has pretty good pull through this anti-stat mat. And it's got, a pretty thin coax here. I'm not sure what this cable actually is, if it's 50 ohm cable or not. I assume it must be. And then you get a power cord, complete with a cigarette lighter adapter. And it looks like it says here in the case it's some sort of hanger, maybe the back of the radio somehow. I guess that's about it. There's some instructions here that tell you how to set it up. And here's the radio itself. I'll give you a little bit more of a close-up of it here. You can see the antenna connection and power are at the bottom. It's got a channel selector here. Again, it's all 40 channels. But it looks like only the odd ones are numbered on the dial here. And then a volume control and a fancy range button, and then a push to talk. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and hook this thing up, plug in the power, and then I will plug in the antenna like that down there at the bottom. I'm going to prop it up here on the case just so we can see what's going on. And then the antenna here, I'm going to want to unspool this whole thing, and it looks like this is a cap that comes off. Oh, okay, it turns, makes half a turn and then pulls out. You can kind of see the arrangement there. So now we'll put the antenna radiator in there, turn that, lock it into place. I'll set this over here and extend it to its full length there. And next thing I'll do is hook the cigarette lighter up. I've got a power supply over here that you can see, and I'll hook this up to that, and then we'll power this up and see if it works. As you can see over here, I've got the cigarette lighter hooked up to the power supply just with some clip leads and off into the power supply there. I'll power this up and see if any of the magic smoke comes out of it. And it looks like it's on. Sounds like it's working. And of course we're on channel 4 there. And I don't expect to hear much of anything on this with my antenna down here in the cellar. But so now let's give it a try and see if it transmits. Yep, and it looks like the transmit light turned red when I transmitted. So that's a good sign. Okay, so as it turns out, I was able to find an adapter here after all. So I've got this hooked up to a jumper wire or a patch cord, or whatever you want to call it. And I've got this hooked up to an 80-meter dipole that I have outside. So we'll be able to receive on this without too much trouble.
I told you it was nice talking on the radio. I almost got everybody to get along. You watch, I'll finally do it and someone will fucking steal the credit.
Well, typical CB. Somebody out there is unhappy with somebody else and using foul language.
Alright, so there's a familiar voice.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been on this band, and you caught me.
Oh, by golly, I caught you for sure, let me lad. We had a lot of fun with that. They talk about it, you listen around and they still talk about it. Got a one-stack mat, it has got a blowed-out stack. It's real shiny, runs like new, it will blow the doors off you.
Alright, that's going to just about do it for this General Electric help radio. I'm going to package it back up in its container here and give it to my coworker tomorrow and see if he can get some use out of it. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to subscribe or leave a comment, feel free to do that as well. Thanks for watching.